Hello everybody. Today's video is a viewer requested video. You know who you are, and it's all about this idea of stepping out of your comfort zone and creating, as we are naturally meant to do. And first, I have this clip by Mr. Beast on the Lex Friedman podcast documenting exactly his advice about those that are beginning this journey of creation.
All you need to do, this applies to people who have not uploaded videos but have dreams of being a YouTuber, is make 100 videos and improve something every time. Do that. Just make 100 videos, improve something each time, and then talk to me on your 101st video. A lot of people get analysis paralysis and they'll just sit there and they'll plan their first video for 3 months. And any of you listening, if you, especially if you have 0 videos on your channel, your first video is not going to get views. Period. It's not. Your first 10 are not going to get views. I can very confidently say that. So stop sitting there and thinking for months and months on end and just get to work and start uploading.
So you want to create, and perhaps you'll take Mr. Beast's recommendation of creating for 100 days and improving each day. But why do you want to create? Personally, I see creation as like a sponge where I'm soaking up information, knowledge, and experience. And then eventually I want to twist it and let it all out through the act of creation. I want to share for others. Let's take into account that there's a binary here. There's self-benefit and there's collective benefit. Ideally, we are here to be of service to others and gain benefit along the way. However, are we going to stay crowded in within our own cave of comfort, or are we going to step beyond our comfort zone, grow, face fear head on, and ultimately deliver the value to others and reap the gains in and along the journey? So simply go within and recognize if the quote-unquote self-harm that you're going through in terms of putting yourself out there, of committing yourself to creating in whatever form of expression is right for you, if that is worth the effort for delivering the value for the collective benefit. Let's now approach this from a different perspective, where perhaps this stepping out of the comfort zone isn't really a big deal. However, you are dealing with this analysis paralysis, as Mr. Beast put it, where perfectionism is stopping you from even taking that first step. My response to that is to avoid perfectionism through compounding incremental progress. And that's exactly what I did through these 100 days. Each day, taking a video, filming it, and having some variable that I wish to improve upon. And typically, that was done through reflection. I recognized maybe in the moment of posting a video that, hey, there's one part of this I didn't like, but that's all right. I will intellectualize it and say that there's variables that can be improved upon. I can optimize my ability to create, and I can just do that the next day. I don't have to dwell in, oh, it's so imperfect because I made one small detail here, one thing there. That's so just not worth your time, not worth the effort, not worth the clutter that's filling up your mind. All right, and let's conclude with some actionable steps that were first proposed by the man himself, Joseph Rodriguez, in a recent video that I watched. In this video, listed out 7 of what I term actionable steps that we can use to grow in some way, shape, or form. And I'll list them, I'll give an example of my application of these to commit myself as a creator in the form of trying to continue and become a physician. And however, you can apply these same principles for content creation on YouTube, on entrepreneurial business creation in whatever domain of expertise you are in, or anything else that you can think of. So let's take these from general. I'll provide specific examples, but your goal as a viewer is to extrapolate this into whatever is applicable for you. Number 1, talk to those that already have your goal. It's important to recognize that most people, if not all, are open to having a conversation. You can gain so much by simply talking to others. While it took one comment to dive deep into my brain, my heart, and my soul from this one viewer, I do the same thing all day at work. I am an endo technician for part of my day job where I'm in these colonoscopies. For 15 minutes, 10 times a day, it's me, a patient who is fast asleep. There's a gastroenterologist and there's an anesthesiologist. And what am I going to do besides talk to them? I'm simply going to understand where they are, how they got there, and what they see moving forward. And by doing so, I can gain lessons learned, I can avoid pitfalls, and I can overall use this as inspiration to further align myself with the trajectory that I am aspiring to pursue. Number 2, teach. In order to efficiently and effectively teach others, you have to have a strong foundation within yourself. You can freeball it and you can talk on the whim of your mind, but people will be able to see through that. They can get a sense of where you're talking from, whether it's from your behind or from the depths of your heart. The way I see content creation is I'm not only trying to teach others some kind of wisdom, but I'm trying to refine it and refurbish it from within. In order to share a meaningful message to others in the form of these videos, that means I have to have the lessons within. And I guess that could be my selfish goal, is to have these within so that, yes, I can create these videos, or I can just share them to my future grandkids or whoever. And regarding teaching in healthcare, here I am as a clinical research coordinator. I have to educate these patients about the investigational product of some clinical trial that they fit based on eligibility criteria and so forth. And there's a lot that goes into that I must refine within myself so that when they're kind of panicked or in a hurry or worried about their own health and their future, I have to be able to convey this message in a calm, cool, and collected manner so that they can get the meat and potatoes of what I'm trying to share, but also be perhaps persuaded into being willing to take care of their health in whatever way makes sense for them. Number 3, become inspired by art. Now, this can be modernized in the form of simply watch YouTube videos of creators that perhaps inspire you. Listen to messages on podcasts that could spark some kind of inspiration within that makes you feel like you're bottled up with energy, that you have no choice but to create a video and share your thoughts. For me, I recently went to a hospital across the street, and while I regularly work in a private practice, office-based setting, going to this hospital was awe-inspiring. There was art in the form of these surgical utensils that I'll share a video about, and these were dating back many years, that it blew my mind that surgery was going on way back when, and it's a blessing to be able to pursue a path like this. And it was awe-inspiring to see how much modernization has happened in this industry. And I felt nothing but joy and compassion for where I'm currently at and for those that were grinding way back when. Number 4, read an autobiography. Now, again, we can modernize this to perhaps watch a video about somebody, or listen to a podcast of somebody that you respect, somebody that has traits that are admirable to you. You can gain so much about somebody's character by simply listening to them, spending hours in a conversation with them, or perhaps it's a one-way conversation through a phone or computer. Personally, there's countless people that I have my YouTube subscription feed that I like to listen to because they not only provide unique perspectives on topics that I'm interested in, but they also encourage me to continue this lifelong journey of learning. In healthcare, again, I'm talking to these doctors. With a patient out with anesthesia, I'm simply sitting there waiting for polyps to be found in these colonoscopies, and I'm talking to the doctors. But what were they doing when they were a few months before medical school? What was their gap year like? What was their medical experience like? What was their residency experience like? There's so many questions that can be going through your head that you have no choice but to ask and learn from. Gain as much as you can from the people that surround you, or gain as much as you can from those on the internet that are giving out content for free. It's so easy to fill your mind with mind-numbing entertainment that does nothing but distract you from your goals. Mambo number 5. We have go to an inspiring location. For you, this could be going out on a walk. For me, it's surrounding myself with nature, or perhaps it's going to the gym, or perhaps it's walking barefoot in the grass around my house. There's so many different options, and all you have to do is explore different places that are either in your immediate vicinity, or perhaps take a vacation, go somewhere new, go to a national park. Find something that takes your mind away from your day-to-day obligations, because this will open up the lid and allow you to receive conscious intelligence from who knows where. I personally began wanting to even create videos in the first place because I would go on these walks into nature and I would have ideas that I just thought were so profound that I wanted to document them. And I would pull out my phone and I would type them into my notes, but that was just so inefficient and ineffective that eventually I upgraded to having my notes and I would speak them verbally, but then the wind would make the sound quality terrible, so I got a lavalier microphone, and then I began listening back to these, and it would be for countless minutes. I'm like, man, this is kind of annoying to listen to. So then I pulled out my phone and I started filming a video for it, and eventually I started editing it, and before I knew it, I was creating videos that all I had to do was create a thumbnail and post them online. Numero 6. Take a trip down memory lane. All we have to do in life is live in the present moment, prepare for the future, and reflect upon the past. Sounds easy, right? But how many of us reflect on the past in terms of thinking about cringy moments, thinking about arguments that we should have won, thinking about disagreements with our decisions that we subconsciously made. What a waste of our time. All that's being recommended here is to use our reflective abilities to gain lessons learned and use nostalgia as ways to align us with the trajectory that is most in harmony with our innermost goals. I can do so now by reflecting on the first day of creating my videos versus the 100th day of the videos. By making this comparison of the past, I can just be appreciative of where I'm currently at, all the progress I've made, and recognize that if I never started with day 1, then I never would have gotten to day 100. Perhaps in my mind I would have, but is it even really practical to think that way? And in terms of medicine, there are countless experiences all throughout undergrad, my gap years, etc., that I can reflect on and simply have appreciation that I've made it this far. I have so much left to go in this career, and I'm excited for what's to come. I made it through a hurdle, and I know there's going to be more hurdles down the way, but I've begun to find appreciation in the simple act of hurdling the hurdle. And hurdling the hurdle for others' benefit as well as my own benefit. And that is where I'm finding the true appreciation. Recognizing that I'm not simply jumping over these hurdles for my own benefit, but I'm doing so for others. And by doing so for others, I am thus gaining some level of growth in return. And lastly, number 7, develop a new skill and relate it to another. Think about the skills, the countless skills that are involved with creating videos. Well, the first one may be public speaking. Well, not necessarily speaking to a crowd in person. I am using voice tonality, pronunciation, vocabulary, word choice, etc. And all of these together are allowing me to improve upon my ability to talk to anyone, talk to others, talk to a camera, talk to myself, talk to patients in a healthcare setting. There are so many countless benefits that are being developed across the board by simply creating videos online. I'm learning marketing. I'm learning artistic creation with thumbnails. I'm learning video editing, audio editing. The list goes on. And you are capable of doing just that as well. And perhaps the most meaningful skill that we are learning, all of us as creators, is listening to our intuitive gut decisions. All the time, we have thoughts and feelings that go in and out of our minds, but there's something deeper within us that is guiding us on a path that is most in harmony with our truest goals. And this is something that takes practice to develop. Listening and filtering out the noise from that true feeling within, that we know what is right, we know what must be done, and we are listening to it and obeying it by taking action. That is everything for today. I hope you, Mr. Viewer, that watched this and requested this video topic, gained something from it, and I know I certainly did. I'd say that's the thesis of this whole video. So take care. Thank you.